There are three hidden teachings in the ancient Patanjali Yoga Sutras which are key to manifestation and which are key to consciously creating our lives the way we truly want to live. These are, according to me, the most profound concepts that I have come across, especially when it comes to manifestation and mastering law of attraction. Now, Patanjali Maharshi was the ancient rishi of India who gave us the Yoga Sutras and the Ashtanga Yoga during the 5th century CE. Although the timeline regarding Patanjali Yoga Sutras and the life of Maharshi Patanjali is not very clear, it is extremely important for us to understand these teachings in order to transform our lives. So make sure to watch this till the end to get the complete understanding on what Patanjali Yoga Sutras are telling us when it comes to manifestation and when it comes to attaining our goals. The Adhvaitha channel is about conscious living and conscious creation. Here we explore Vedanta and ancient spiritual teachings from India to understand the nature of reality and to consciously create our lives. The fourth sutra from the third chapter of Patanjali Yoga Sutra states Trayam Ekatra Samyama, which means the final three limbs of yoga, that is Dharana, Dhyana and Samadhi, together forms Samyama. And these three limbs of yoga, when put together, we can call it Samyama. And this is what we'll be discussing today. These are the three secrets. And the Ashtanga Yoga itself, like the name says, has 8 limbs to it, 8 parts to it. And in this video, we are discussing the final 3 limbs and we will talk about how these teachings are extremely relevant when it comes to manifestation and when it comes to conscious creation. And I truly believe that if we actually understand these 3 concepts and if we master them, we can truly have anything that we want in this world. Now, the first principle that we are discussing here is Dharana. Dharana means concentration. Concentration is extremely important to manifest anything and to accomplish anything in this material world. In the 41st verse of the second chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, Vyavasayat mika buddhir ekeha kuru nandana bahushaka hyanantascha buddhayo vyavasayinam. This means a person who has one pointed attention, focus and concentration towards his goal will not deviate from it. But the intellect of those who are irresolute is many branched and they get easily distracted and it is difficult for them to reach their goals. Like this, we need to understand the importance of one pointed attention and concentration. So before we discuss anything, it is important for us to consciously choose the goals for our lives. Swami Vivekananda once said, be careful about your desires because they will come true. We need to understand this because we cannot have desires unconsciously. We cannot have desires simply for the gratification of the ego. The danger of this is that our desires may and will come true, especially with these methods and techniques. So we should be extremely conscious and cautious and choose the goals for our lives consciously so that it will create a positive impact in your life as well as it will create a positive impact for this world. So like I was saying earlier, the process of fixing our attention and focus on one single object is dharana. And this is very difficult and it is almost like training a monkey to be still. So this is a painful process that we need to go through. We need to first of all have absolute clarity as in what kind of a life that we want to live in this world. And we need to be clear about our object of attainment. And our attention and our focus should be solely focused towards our goals and towards that life that we want to create for ourselves. And this concentration is Dharana. Now coming to the second principle from the Yoga Sutras, this is Dhyana or meditation. Now, meditation is simply prolonged concentration. When we prolong Dharana, it becomes Dhyana. So, first we need to start with Dharana, which is concentration, and we need to practice keeping our attention and keeping our concentration on one object for a particular period of time. And as we get comfortable keeping our attention there, we need to try to expand the amount of time and practice keeping attention on a particular object for more elongated periods of time. And if we practice and if we master Dharana, that is concentration, Dhyana or meditation happens naturally. And the second sutra from the third chapter of Yoga Sutras, that is Vibhuti-pada, says, an unbroken flow of knowledge to that object is Dhyana. Whereas Dharana is holding the mind on some particular object. So this is the difference between Dharana and Dhyana. Now we have covered Dharana in the first principle and Dhyana in the second principle. Dharana is choosing an object of attainment and keeping our attention and concentrating on that object of attainment. Dhyana is simply expanding the amount of time through which we can focus and keep our attention on that goal or attainment. This is meditating upon that object of attainment. Here it is also important for us to understand the importance of action and surrender. Though in this particular video we are learning from the principles of Yoga Sutras and we are talking about Dharana, which is concentration, and Dhyana, which is meditation, we also need to understand the importance of effort and surrender. So here is a simple formula that I use in my life, and pay attention and remember this. The formula is SPPS. This is Sankalpa, Prapanna, Prayatna and Siddhi. Sankalpa is about consciously choosing a goal for our lives. This is the ideal life that you want to live. This is the goal that you want to achieve, and this must be arrived at after a lot of thought and after a lot of deep contemplation. So this is your Sankalpa. After Sankalpa, the second step is Prapanna, which means absolute surrender. Once you create a vision for your life, once you create a goal that you want to achieve, you must simply surrender it to that higher intelligence. You can call it whatever you want. You can call it God or your higher self or that infinite consciousness. But we need to simply surrender the Sankalpa to that higher intelligence, which will take care of the rest. Now the third step is Prayatna. Prayatna is about taking action and putting effort. So just because we have surrendered the outcomes of our action and we have surrendered our Sankalpa, it doesn't mean we need to sit in inaction. It makes more sense to act on our goals, and it is helpful to put efforts in achieving our goals and our desired life. So this is Prayatna. Here we need to be as resourceful as possible. We need to make use of all the tools. We need to level up. We need to get help from our mentors and gurus. We need to be disciplined, and we need to take whatever action that is possible for us right now in the present moment, which can help us get closer to our goals. This is Prayatna. And the fourth step is Siddhi. This is simply the attainment of the goal. So if we follow the first three steps properly, then Siddhi happens naturally and automatically. And even if it doesn't happen, ultimately it will not matter to us, because we would have surrendered our Sankalpa to a higher intelligence, and we would trust that higher intelligence to take care of it. And if that Sankalpa is the best outcome for your life, it will naturally manifest if we follow these 4 steps. So make sure to give this a try, and I really hope that this will help you. Now coming to the third principle, which is the most important thing to understand, is Samadhi. Through the process of sustained concentration and prolonged concentration, the distinction between the object of attainment and the subject of attainment diminishes, and the object of attainment becomes one with the subject of attainment. This is how we can manifest different things in this world. Samadhi is simply becoming one with the object of attainment. Although in the context of Yoga Sutras, they are talking about Samadhi as in liberation or enlightenment, as this is the higher goal and in fact the highest goal for any human being. The same principles work for all your desires and all your goals in life. Whatever it is that you want to achieve in this world, if you make that the object of your life and the object of attainment, and through Dharana and Dhyana, if you can focus and concentrate on that object of attainment for prolonged periods of time, it will eventually become one with you and you will become one with it. You will attain it, and this attainment is Samadhi. And this Samyama is essential for whatever it is that you want from this life. If you want enlightenment, this Samyama is needed. If you want to achieve your goals in this material world, then also this Samyama is needed. Because without concentration and attention, and without prolonged concentration, that is meditation, you cannot get Samadhi, which is attainment of your goal. So it is important for us to make use of these principles and teachings in order to transform our lives and in order to live our ideal lives. And the Patanjali Yoga Sutras also emphasize that the control of the mind is essential in the practice of yoga. It discusses the scattering, darkening, weakening and concentrating states in which the mind stuff manifests itself, and the importance of restraining and checking the outward tendency of the mind. And this Samyama that I was talking about is explained as a great power in the Yoga Sutras. Now I will read a few sentences which is directly from the Yoga Sutras, and this is from the commentary and translation by Swami Vivekananda himself of the Patanjali Yoga Sutras. When one has succeeded in making this Samyama, all powers come under his control. This is the great instrument of the yogi. The object of knowledge are infinite, and they are divided into the gross, grosser, grossest, and the fine, finer, finest, and so on. This Samyama should be first applied to the gross things. When you begin to get knowledge of the gross, slowly by stages, it should be brought to finer things. Now, before you go and try these principles and try to manifest different things in this world, you need to first understand the principles of conscious creation, and you need to understand how to have absolute clarity about what you want from this life. With regard to this, we had made an elaborate masterclass, which is the Conscious Creation Blueprint Masterclass. And you can check out this video next if you want to learn the principles of conscious creation and how to be clear about your goals in life. So this is that video. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I'll see you on the next one. If you liked the video, check out this next and make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you and welcome to our community.